Now, if you guys saw the previous videos, this is a 2017 Canam X3 turbo engine. We may or may not have ran it without the air filter, and we sucked in a good bit of dirt, blew the engine, and I'm dying to see just what's going on inside. Now, this engine already had 4,500 miles on it, which for a sport side-by-side is actually a pretty good amount of miles. These engines get beat when you ride them, man. They are constantly being revved out. You're smashing these things off rocks. The entire thing is getting jostled around, and they just take a lot of abuse. This was also a relatively cheap side-by-side considering the make and model. I got it for $9,000, which is on the cheap side. And after a bit of inspection, once I brought this car home, we did see that it may not have had the best maintenance. Oh, dude. But despite the negligence on my part, I don't think this engine was running like a top out of the box, because now that we've done the engine swap and I've got the newer engine in there, I've noticed that it's quite a bit faster. Nevertheless, we will be tearing this engine down in just a moment and inspecting that together. We've also got this heaping pile of brand new and brand new pre-owned parts for the Canam X3. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick little sweep here. Check these rims out, man. I am so stoked. There's just so much stuff, and we got brand new plastics in there. We're gonna go over that after we do the engine teardown, but I just wanted to give you guys a sneaky peeky because it's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. Before we tear into this engine, I just got this Tusk toolbox in the mail from Rocky Mountain ATV. This thing is freaking sweet. It's like an all-inclusive box that's really good for the trail and the track. Let me show it to you. So it is a locking toolbox. It's got the little combination here and a spot for a key. And up under the top, you've got most of the tools that you're gonna need on the track. It's got most of your common sizes of sockets. It's got Torx bits, Allen heads, and pretty much anything you're gonna come across on an ATV or a quad. We've got a 1/4 inch ratchet, a 3/8 inch ratchet, and a 1/2 inch breaker bar, a universal driver, and we've also got some extensions and stuff over here. I think these can be organized any way that you want. They come in 2 different boxes, and these foam inserts with the tools have separate packaging, so you can put them in any drawer that you want. We've got the dead blow, we've got some pliers, needle nose, some picks, spring puller, which is actually really nice. You'd be surprised, well, I'm sure you know, like if you have to use vice grips or something, it's a pain in the ass. We've got a bunch of Torx drivers, we've got Allen bits. If you come down to the next drawer, this is like a tire drawer. We've got I believe this is a chain breaker. We've got a digital tire pressure gauge, a bead buddy. We've got spoke wrenches, tire spoons, and another long tire spoon here. So pretty much everything you need if you were to get a flat at the track on your dirt bike. And then in the bottom drawer, we've got some wrenches. They're just your standard open end and box end. They're not ratcheting or anything. But when you're on the trail, anything's gonna help you out. We've also got a feeler gauge right here, a low profile 13/16 inch spark plug wrench, some spark plug wrenches up here, and then just some smaller wrenches over here. So I would say this toolkit is mostly designed for someone who's riding a dirt bike, but it's gonna work for any kind of power sport or any general multi-tool tool chest. There are a couple things missing that I wanted to point out, so if you guys do go out and buy it, just be aware. There's not a 15mm socket, and there's not an 11mm socket. Maybe not as common as the other sizes. You've got the 8, 10, 12, the 14 and the 17 is really common, even the 19 and the 21. But the 15 is pretty common too. I was kind of surprised that wasn't in there, but you could always just throw one of those sockets in here after the fact. The price point's right around $400, and the tools feel pretty good. I've been using them for a couple days now, and I'd say they're like the Icon tools from Harbor Freight. So it's not gonna be like a Milwaukee or a Snap-on tool, but they're pretty solid, especially at this price point. Now they do have a number of designs, and you can get them custom made. You see I've got my name on here and my number. So they have different colors and different designs, and basically it is a graphics kit for the tool chest. I'm gonna clean this bastard off with some Tusk First Line. It's actually the glass and lens cleaner, but it's a nice, easy cleaner. It's kind of like soap and water. It's not gonna be any chemicals, like bad chemicals in it is what I'm trying to say. Gotta say, man, I was a little skeptical with the graphics kit, but now that it's on there, this thing looks freaking awesome. I like that you can get it in different colors too, so if you want to match your bike or something. I will say, it's a nice graphics kit. It's got the vents in the glue, if you guys know what I'm talking about. It kind of lets the air pockets escape so you don't have a bunch of bubbles and stuff, but if you're not good at putting graphics on or you get frustrated, you might want to have a buddy do it, or just stick to getting the base one because it is a little tedious putting those graphics on. All right, man, let's tear into this X3 engine. All right, here we go. We'll see if we can get this whole thing apart with just this Tusk toolkit. I think this is the cam position sensor. Wonder if this thing has ever been apart. Doesn't really look like it. All of the hardware up here is like KTM, where it has the regular hex style. You can put like a socket on there, or you've got the Torx in the center. So if you accidentally round one of these out, you've got that backup in there. But I did notice that I don't see any wear marks. Usually you can see if an engine's been removed or if a bolt's been removed before. However, sometimes, you know, if you have a good technician and there were no stuck bolts, you know, you might not be able to tell, but this doesn't look like it's ever been apart. Just looking at the cams, they appear to be good. I don't like feel grooves or anything. Granted, I've got these gloves on, but these are kind of thin. I like working with these are the 5mm gloves. Actually got them right here. I've got the 5mm and the 7mm. These 7mm are really nice. They have like a texture, but they're so thick that I feel like I've got a little bit more, I guess, dexterity with these. You can feel stuff almost like you're just bare fingertips. Not quite, but yeah, this does look pretty good. I think this whole cam assembly comes apart with the two cams and this housing, which is actually pretty nice. This is actually my first triple or even double. We've got some learning to do here. I understand like the workings of a multiple cylinder engine. So, well, we should be all right. We're not going to use a manual. I'm just going to tear this thing down, and if we get stuck, I do have an X3 PDF manual that I can refer to. We've got the timing chain tensioner, it looks like right here, and it is a Torx bit, and surprisingly, that big Torx bit was in the Tusk kit, so I will let you guys know as soon as I don't have the right tool. But this one is a T55. This might be tight. Came out pretty easy. Gotta love the impact driver. Looks like a hydraulic style cam chain tensioner, also like KTM. Pretty tight. That's what she said. Well, I'm already referring to the service manual. We could probably figure that out, but we've got the manual here. We might as well do it right. And it looks like we were doing it wrong. So it looks like we've got to take this breathing cover off, this black thing. Then slide the tensioner guide off, or the cam chain guide. And the chain, it just says to take it off. Looks like there's a chain guide over here too. Take that out. And now our cam chain is off. Then we'll take out the cam housing. And I think this comes out with the cam, all as one unit. I try to keep this all together, one piece. At first glance, it appears that all of our lobes are in good shape on both sides. I'll take a closer look at this later on, but it's looking pretty good. I really do like that this is a standalone unit, because if your cam journals or something get scored up or ruined, you don't have to replace the whole head. You could just replace, I'm assuming, I don't even know if you could just order just this piece, but I imagine that this piece you can order separate, and I would imagine that's why they designed it that way. It's pretty slick. And also, as we're tearing this down, I'm trying to keep these parts organized as they came apart around the table, and then maybe on this tray and some other areas. And then I'll be taking plastic bags, marking them off, so that when we put this thing back together, we're not like dealing with a whole hodgepodge, because it can be easy to mix up these parts, especially if you don't have a service manual, which, you know, luckily we do. Now I'll take these cam caps out. I'm gonna clean the tops off with some contact cleaner, and that way I can number these. You can probably get away with putting them back, you know, in a random order, but I like to put these back in the same sockets that they came out of. Well, we've already exceeded the ability of the Tusk toolkit. We need 12 points for these head studs. So I've got a 12 point, 12 millimeter. I'm gonna pop these off from the inside going out. Oh, and it looks like we've got two 8 millimeters down here. don't know, dude. Oh, shit. It's the middle cylinder.
Oh, that's giggity.
Looks like the middle cylinder. Let me see that flashlight real quick. She's filled with water.
Coolant, for sure.
Piston tops don't look bad.
No, I'm wondering where it came in.
The head looks good.
Not seeing much evidence on the head gasket.
Yeah, I don't see any, usually there's like a blown out spot or a little black mark.
But you can see that combustion was getting between the head gasket slightly.
Was it?
Just slightly. See how dark it is?
Unless the cylinder's got a crack in it, but I really doubt that.
You never know.
Tear the rest down.
Yeah, I think we get rid of the coolant and then we'll actually be able to see. Anything?
Man, I don't know if this thing has a second drain or something, because I thought I got all the oil out of this. A lot of it came out, but man, this thing is pissing oil all over the place as soon as we broke the seal to this thing. Looks pretty good. Everything looks pretty clean in here. All the gears look good. You can see down here that it's a little milky. So unless that leaked in after the fact, I'm pretty sure we did have some coolant get into the crankcase. For the most part, the oil looked pretty good. Like, I didn't detect coolant. Here's our stator. We are gonna be upgrading that. This 2017, they had a different stator than the newer style, but everything actually looks pretty good in here. We've got a big ass bolt right in the center of this flywheel. Believe it or not, it's an H14 and it was in that Tusk toolkit. I did have to use a reducer, so it's not ideal, but we're gonna beat the piss out of this kit and see how much it can take. And I think it'll be fine anyways though. No problem. You can see this bastard's got some blue Loctite on there. Sometimes bolts like this can be a serious pain in the ass. The impact helps out a lot. We're gonna be using a specialty tool here. This is a Motion Pro flywheel puller. It's an M38 by 1.5 right-hand drive. Now, it's not the actual Canam one. I was looking at the Canam part, and it comes with a little insert that goes in here. We're just gonna use a socket for now. It's basically gonna prevent us from messing up the crankshaft. So it might work without it too, but better safe than sorry. And this is from the Tusk toolkit. We're gonna see what this thing can take, throw all kinds of abuse at it. And I believe this threads on, nope, it threads on clockwise. I'm gonna make sure that is all the way on those threads. You do not want to strip those out. And we do have the proper size socket in the Tusk toolkit. Ideally, you don't want to use a reducer. You know, we're using this really powerful 1/2-inch impact. So you're putting a lot of stress on these components. You know, it's power sports. It's not like automotive or diesel. That's where you might actually snap one of these bastards off if you're using a reducer. So if you have the option, don't use the reducer. Use a 1/2-inch socket instead of this 3/8. But I think for this, we're gonna be fine. And like I said, we want to test it out. And then we've got a 24mm open end wrench just to hold this thing from spinning. And yes, this was in the Tusk kit. And I believe this is a reverse thread. So I've got the impact in reverse. The whole engine's kind of moving backwards, so I'm fighting that. That scared me for a second, dude. I thought we stripped this damn thing. It's just in that reverse thread. It actually just threaded the whole freaking thing off. All right, let's try this again. This time I'll use the box inside. Fire in the hole. This tool has seen better days because it's actually used in their teardown shop. I am sure that this tool has torn down hundreds, if not thousands of engines, and it's really difficult to spin it in there. It should spin freely by hand, and it is good to oil these too because they just take a lot of abuse. And then I'll usually take the key out just so that we don't lose it. I'll keep this with the flywheel just so that we don't lose it down the line. These oil pump gears are giving me a little bit of resistance. I went and looked at the manual. It just says to remove them. It doesn't say a process. So I think they're just a little tight maybe. They're plastic, so I gotta be really careful. Just giving a very, very gentle prise with this pry bar. Really can't put too much pressure on this because they're plastic and I can see it flexing already. Not sure why it's stuck the way that it is. All right, that one broke free. Yeah, these are just snug. There it goes. These oil pump rotors look good. Sometimes you get scoring and scratching on these, and then they won't pump oil as efficiently. You gotta check the inner and the outer, but these ones check out. This side looks pretty good too. Looks like we've got just about everything off the stator side. Let's get the starter out of here. Looks like one of the crank bearings. This cover actually has little pry points like right here to pop this thing loose, which is nice. Oh, shit. I didn't think it was gonna come off that easy. Doesn't really look like there's much of anything in here. I think this is just like a plate. It's got alignment pins that line up in when you install the engine. I think that kind of looks like that's all it is, and then you can see the back of the dipstick in there. We do have some bolts in here that look like they need to come out though, and this looks like an oil passage. I'm not sure that this really needs to come out, but we'll take it apart anyways. There's also a number of bolts are on the outside that look like they go through where the case splits. So I'm just gonna go around and make sure I get all those out. All right, I think I can flip this over now. I'm gonna use a block of wood because this chain slider, I don't think that comes out yet, and it's kind of in the way. So I'm just gonna put this block of wood like that when we flip it over, and that should be fine. We're gonna get back to the video in just a second here, but I did want to stop to mention the companies that are helping to make this Project X3 possible. Thank you to Powersports Nation and PARTZILLA. PARTZILLA is my go-to spot for brand new OEM parts. PARTZILLA has an excellent online schematic that makes finding the part that you need easy. You can expect to find competitive pricing, quick shipping, and all orders over $150 shipped for free. While PARTZILLA is known for their OEM parts, they do offer aftermarket parts like tires and wheels, gear like helmets and gloves, oils, and other consumables, as well as other products. Now, if I'm looking for parts for a side-by-side like this Canam or for a utility ATV like a Sportsman, my go-to spot is going to be PowersportsNation.com. Not only does Powersports Nation have competitive pricing, but you can often find parts that are discontinued and you can't get anywhere else. If you don't see what you're looking for on the PowersportsNation.com website, make sure to call in and let them know because they're constantly getting new parts in every week and they just might have what you need. All parts come with a warranty and every order ships for free. I've been using PARTZILLA.com and Powersports Nation for years and I'm comfortable recommending them to you guys. If you're looking for a way to support me, the best way to do that is by using the companies that support what I do. Links to Powersports Nation and PARTZILLA will be in the description below, as well as any other companies that are helping out with the X3 project. All right, let's get back to the video. The cool thing is this engine's starting to get a little bit lighter. Still more oil though. My God, this thing has been messy. Okay, that should be good. Then I guess you would consider this the oil pan. Really small. It's like a little plate like this, but it's got to be a good 15 bolts in this thing. Little pry tabs on this one too. Oil filters. We've got some more 6 points. These are 11 millimeters. I think I'm gonna go ahead and upsize the bit because these are probably pretty tight. And a bunch more little M8s on the outside. All right, I think I have all the bolts out to split the cases, hopefully. All right, now I'm gonna attempt to not have this damn engine fly off the table. Hopefully it just falls apart. I don't know if we need a splitter for this case, but there are plenty of pry points around the outside, so I would guess that's how it's supposed to come apart. There it goes. Not bad, not bad. Man, you just never know with splitting an engine if it's gonna be a pain in the ass or it's just gonna pop apart. Woohoo! There is our crank. Unfortunately, I don't have the correct socket for these. They're 12 points. These are 9 millimeters, so I'm gonna have to use a wrench to get these caps off. I just don't have the right tool, unfortunately. But this will get the job done. Man, they're freaking tight. Jeez. The good old hammer trick always does the job. I'm not sure if I'm reusing these rods, but just in case, I'm numbering which cylinder they came out of. And I'm putting an S on the one side, indicating that this side was on the stator side. And now the crank should just lift out. And I think we can just push the piston straight on through. And I am keeping these in order also, just in case. But I don't think we're going to be reusing this stuff. And it looks like we could have taken this cam chain slider out ahead of time. Probably would make it a lot easier for flipping the engine upside down. There's a bolt right here. And then it looks like another one. This is a plug. So some kind of special tool. All right, I just checked the manual and it looks like you thread an M6 in and it's just a pin in there. So it should just slide right out. There we go, easy. So here is our cylinder block. I'm kind of shocked how good of condition the cylinders are in. I mean, if we come around the other side, you can actually see the cross hatching, even up top where the rings slide. They look to be in really good shape. Now, this is a Nicocil coated cylinder, so I think it's Nicocil anyways. And the Nicocil coating is super hard, so it lasts a lot longer than your traditional sleeve. The pistons look pretty nice. You can see the skirts don't have like excessive wear or anything. I don't see any like crazy damage. I'm kind of surprised that there's not a whole bunch of buildup on top of the pistons, but I don't really see anything abnormal here. This is the one that had all the fluid in it. I think that's why it's a little bit cleaner, actually. But same thing, the skirts look good. No gouges, nothing like jumping out at me saying like, whoa, okay, there's the problem. This one looks good. Everything's nice and tight. The bearings felt good. Our crank looks like it's in good shape. I don't see any bluing in the areas that you shouldn't have it. Here, but here and here, that's okay if there's a little bit of bluing, but everything looks pretty good. All the other parts I have laying over here, I've got everything organized. The bolts are kind of like localized wherever they came apart. All this stuff looks good too. I'm wondering if maybe the head is slightly warped or something, and that's what caused the the head gasket to go, or, you know, it is possible that it was just its time to go. We were pushing that engine pretty hard. And again, I'm not making an excuse saying that the running without an air filter wasn't my fault or that did it or anything, but considering what happened, and I really just doesn't seem like, I would not call this catastrophic engine failure is what I'm trying to say. As for all the parts and stuff, I'm gonna clean all this stuff, organize it. I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do as far as modifications and engine build, if it's just gonna be an OEM build, or I don't know, I might bore out the cylinders, and I don't know. You guys let me know in the description below what you think I should do. I think it'd be kind of cool to upgrade the power a little bit, but not to go too crazy because I don't want it to be like super unreliable. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, these engines can make a lot of power without doing that much. So yeah, let me know in the comments section below. So the real question is, did riding without the airbox and air filter on that side-by-side blow the engine? I seriously don't know, because I am just so impressed with the way that this engine looks. I've actually got them all binned up now. I really just don't see any major signs of engine failure. And if I hadn't known that this engine was ridden without the air filter, I would never guess that that happened. So maybe it's not as bad as we thought. I just don't know. I would never recommend driving without the air filter. Now, since you guys are the experts, you're gonna have to let me know in the comments section below what you think caused that engine to blow the head gasket. Was it because we weren't running without the air filter, or was it just its time? You've got to consider we were doing like 30-second long full RPM drag race pulls in the cornfield and just riding it really hard. That is typically when you blow a head gasket, especially with a turbo car. And also we were bringing in extra air, not even having a filter or airbox. So we were getting the maximum flow of air that we possibly could. Maybe it was making a little bit more horsepower, or was it from sucking in all the debris? Was that a factor or not? I just don't know. Anyways, I did say that we were gonna get to this heaping pile of parts before the end of this video, and I think because there's so many freaking boxes and this video is already getting kind of long, we'll pick 2 of them, open them up, and then we'll do the rest in another video. But I did want to just kind of give you like an overview of the stuff that I got. We've got brand new plastics in here, and I can show you the color. Oh, I got a little bit of dust on there. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's a metal flake in this. It's like a tuxedo black. I do have a color scheme. I'm gonna show you a rough design of what I'm planning to do. I haven't finished the rendering just yet, but silver and black is going to be the color scheme. We've also got these trick wheels right here from Bolite. They hook these things up. They sell them in different colorways. You can get these wheels in black or gunmetal like this one, and then the ring comes in multiple colors also. I think we're actually gonna open up a brand new one of those as one of our items. That'll be one of the things, so I'll talk more about that in a second. And then we've got a number of OEM parts right from PARTZILLA. You can see right there on the box, PARTZILLA. We've got a brand new belt from them. That's an official Canam belt. We've got a whole bunch of Canam parts. These aren't just replacement parts. We're doing a lot of upgrades. Our X3 is a 2017. That's the first year for the Can-Am X3. And as you guys know, the first year of any model of anything is usually got a whole bunch of bugs and little things that need to be fixed. One of the things, like I said, when we were tearing down the engine is the stator. We're gonna be upgrading that with a brand new OEM. We also have knuckles in there. The knuckles are one of those things, some axles and other stuff like that. I will be opening all these boxes and showing you the new parts and explaining the upgrades that we're doing. But that's what most of the OEM parts are gonna be. And then of course, replacing bearings and consumables like that, because there's quite a few little wiggles and shakes that this car has too. And then moving on from that, I've got a Hess steering quickener. This is actually my buddy Greg Hayes lent this to me, and he said I can test it out. Basically, I won't have to turn the steering wheel quite as much to get, it'll be like super responsive steering. He said if I like it, I can buy it from him. If I don't like it, he'll take it back. So that's pretty sweet, because it's like a $700 part. We've got some stuff from Super ATV. We've got a steering upgrade kit in there. And then I've got some brand new pre-owned parts here that all came from Power Sports Nation. We got this really nice bumper. We'll be powder coating all this stuff. Got some Super ATV used A-arms that came right from Power Sports Nation. I believe that's a rear bumper in there. And then if you come over here, this is probably one of the sweetest parts going on this build. It is a completely custom cage. This is a huge upgrade, man. If you guys are into side-by-sides or not even racing, just in general, the cages are really weak and kind of frail. So this is a major, major upgrade, and it also has a really nice light bar on there. We'll have to check that out in the next video because this thing is actually pretty freaking heavy and I hate moving it around. But I'm gonna be sending that off. This might be the last time you see it in this yellow color. That's gonna be getting powder coated silver, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna make the roof silver also or keep the contrast with black. All right, now I said that I would pick 2 things to open up. One of them is gonna be the Bullite wheels, but I feel like I'm kind of cheating you guys because you're already getting to see the wheels. So we're gonna open up a brand new one of those that's not unboxed yet because it was honestly kind of fun to open up. And we'll pick 2 more things. Honestly, this is kind of difficult. There's so much stuff here. I'm not even sure what I want to open because, I'm joking. I've been staying here with the guys from Power Sports Nation, and they're like, dude, how have you had these packages here and not opened them yet? Like, I want to see what's inside. And I go through this every day, but I love opening stuff up, like, genuinely with you guys because it's just freaking exciting. I think we'll go with this. I believe this is a rear bumper. This is a brand new part, if I'm not mistaken, but it came from Power Sports Nation. Sometimes they get stuff in that's brand new. And let's do one of these. I think that'll be cool. Oh, hell, and we'll do this one too because it's heavy and I'm honestly dying to know what's in this thing. So we've gone from 2 items opening to 4. But I've been dying to open this stuff up too. It's just getting really late. And I couldn't help it, man. I had to open up the one Bullite wheel because, dude, brand new wheels. Like, I had to do it, all right? So we'll open this one up together. The way that I got hooked up with these wheels is actually really cool. If you guys know Adrenaline Junkie Productions, his name's Julian. He's got an awesome YouTube channel, and he and I have known each other for years. I don't know that we ever talked on the phone years ago, but we would just DM back and forth, just here and there occasionally, and just knew of each other's existence for years, I should say. And then recently, as I started getting more into the side-by-side stuff, Julian and I just kind of started talking more, and we ended up talking on the phone and stuff, and Julian's just a really cool dude, and he's like, hey man, if you need wheels for that side-by-side, one of the guys that I work with, they might be willing to help you out too. So he hooked me up with Bullite, and those guys are pretty awesome too. So just funny how the things transpire, but just really cool if you're looking for any kind of like side-by-side content. Julian puts out awesome stuff. So anyways, back to the wheels. We've got the beadlock ring right here. It comes in this like almost like steering wheel cover kind of thing. It's pretty cool. It's like a hairnet, dude. It's really, that's what it is. Anyways, this is the beadlock ring. It is in matte black. There are a number of different colors. You can get cool colors too. Like they have one, it's like a sapphire blue. They've got an orange. I was really, really close to getting the blue one because I just love blue. And it wasn't gonna go with the color scheme though, and black, you just can't go wrong. So there is the beadlock ring. Then of course, we've got the wheel itself. Let's pull this bastard out of the box. I genuinely just enjoy opening up brand new stuff. It's literally like Christmas every single time. And I'm aware that I'm super spoiled with this stuff. It wasn't that long ago, and I can remember when I was a kid, looking at magazines and pictures on the internet and stuff and just drooling over stuff like this. I just always wanted this stuff, so I'm so glad that I can share it with you guys, and I try to do my best in doing that, but it just gets me so stoked that I can show this stuff to you guys and we can experience it together because it really is cool stuff. This is the wheel itself. Got a center cap already in there. We'll line that up nice and perfect with the Bullite logo. Really, really nice rim. And then in here is the hardware. So we'll place our beadlock ring on the outside. Man, you can't tell me these things don't look freaking sweet. I'm considering swapping the hardware out with yellow zinc, those kind of like the gold looking bolts. I just have a thing for the gold bolts on beadlock wheels. I think it looks so cool. But the fit and finish of these wheels is absolutely premium. Now the wheel that I chose is their BT05. It's got a roll formed aluminum rim made of 5454-H aluminum, which is super strong. It's gonna be a hell of a lot stronger than the stock rim, and it's also gonna be 20% lighter than a cast wheel of the same size. The beadlock rim is casted in a low temperature solid A356-T6 aluminum. They use aerospace friction welding technology, and most of their wheels weigh about 12 to 14 pounds. Now, if you're like me, you heard those numbers about the aluminum and you have no idea what that means, but what I can tell you is that these wheels are significantly stronger than stock, and they're very light and they're very cool looking. So I broke a rim on the first ride out. That was a 14-inch cast wheel, and I asked for 6 of these from Bullite because I wanted to have 2 spares. And they said, we'll humor you and we'll send you 5, but you're not gonna break any of them. So challenge accepted. I'm very excited to run these rims. I'm gonna be running them with Sedona trail saws, which I have on a pallet out back. They're just a little bit too big to have them sitting in the shop right now. But this with the tire combination is gonna look sweet. I can't wait to get those mounted up. They also sent me a couple brochures, some stickers, because They just know me too well, man. I love stickers, and I got a t-shirt and a hat, which is pretty awesome. So thank you, Bullite. I will have their website linked in the description below if you guys want to pick up a set of these wheels or any of their other wheels from their catalog. All right, let's get this big bastard out of the way. Ugh, I'm actually dying to see what's in here because I know what it is. It has the Canam part number on the box, and it says it is a bumper rear B160 kit. So we know it's a rear bumper. I just don't know what it looks like because, you know, like I said before, I like to open stuff up with you guys genuinely. But I do think this is actually brand new, which, yeah, this is definitely brand new, man. I think we're gonna have to do a little bit of building with this thing. Canam, like, can you just give me something that's already together that I don't have to put no air filter on and break? If this isn't brand new, whoever cleaned this and repackaged it did a really good job. All right, let me just, all right, I think that's it. Oh. Dude, this is really nice. Man, this is a beefy bumper, man. It's super hardcore. This thing is heavy duty. This will go up on the back. It's got a spot right here for a tow hook if you get stuck or if you got to pull somebody out, and it just feels super heavy duty. I've learned in the small amount of time now that I've been riding these side-by-sides that the more points you have, like anchor points to either strap something to or pull somebody out or to get you pulled out, the better. They have this brand S3, which I'm actually not familiar with, but I know it's a good brand. I guess they make stuff directly for Canam. That's pretty sweet. It's the same brand on the front bumper and on that used cage that I'll be powder coating. It's also got this plate right here that it's coming with, and it looks like it mounts up right here. I believe this is for mounting a rear winch. Frickin' awesome bumper, and huge shout out to Power Sports Nation for hooking it up, man. I did not expect such an awesome bumper, man. That thing is so cool. Like, who would have thought that I'd be excited about a bumper? Kind of weird, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, let's move on to, well, we kind of know what's in here. That's a spotlight, but I don't know what they look like. And I kind of have a thing for spotlights and LED light bars and stuff because, well, if you know, you know. They're just freaking cool. So let's put this here because I'm actually really excited for that, and open this because this could potentially not be exciting, but it might be. I don't know. So we'll get the risky one out of the way. So that if this is lame, we can recover with the spotlight. But I'm not sure what's in this. Heavy could be bolts, or it could be something cool, like money. Probably not. It's bearings, guys. Just bearings. Bonus open. Because they go with the bearings, they just make the bearings make sense. Believe it or not, it's actually an upgrade. So this is a brand new hub. I believe this is a rear hub, I believe. I could be wrong though. But it doesn't matter because we're going to be upgrading all 4 hubs. And I don't know the exact specifics, but these are brand new from PARTZILLA.com. And these are the new bearings that are going to go in here. And from what I understand, one of the weak points of the 2017 X3, I think up until 2019, but I could be wrong. It might even be the 2020. I think 21 to 24, they upgraded these hubs. They were a weak point. People were breaking them and stuff. Front and rear apparently were both weaker, and then they upgraded them. But they're a direct swap into that 2017. So we're gonna be upgrading to the new style. These are for the 2024. I believe these are upgraded bearings and everything. So it is a cool part. It's kind of not that exciting, but it's a cool upgrade and one of those things where if you do get a 2017 or an older one, it's a good thing to upgrade to. So now, let's open up these spotlights. I was afraid that I'm gonna cut whatever's in the box. Have you ever opened up a box with a razor blade or something and you go a little bit too deep and you score it? Not good. So, oh my gosh, there are wires right here that I easily could have scored with the razor. Got lucky. I said that I didn't know what these looked like, but there's a picture right on the box. I didn't see that until right now, I swear. Anyways, it'll still be exciting. So I have never had like higher grade LEDs. I always got the cheapies from Amazon. I don't think I've ever had like a really nice LED light bar or pods or anything. I've always gone for the economy stuff, which to be honest with you, a lot of the economy LED stuff is actually pretty impressive. It's gonna be interesting to see the difference in quality. I can feel like these are heavy. Heavy usually means quality. You know, they actually have human studies that show that heavier things, we relate that with quality. And there's some stuff that's made today, I'm trying to think of an item, maybe like a watch that would actually be lightweight, and it doesn't mean it's not quality, it's just a lightweight technology, and they'll put weights in it because people, when they hold something that's heavy, they're like, oh, this is definitely quality. When something's light, it feels cheap. It's just interesting, you know, humans, we're interesting beings. Anyways, this definitely looks freaking nice, man. Have a look at that, why don't ya? You can see, I mean, shit, like, it's gonna be cool to put these on and see how bright they are. But for now, we'll just see that the quality feels really good. The lens looks, it just, I mean, I think this is a really good light pod. It looks very durable, feels very durable, and it'll probably be waterproof. You know, they claim that it's waterproof. I think it's like IP67. Yep, IP67 waterproof rating, which they say on literally every cheap LED. And are they really waterproof though? I've already learned that they're not. This one probably actually is though. So these were sent to me by Western Power Sports. They are the Stealth series. It's a dual side shooter pod light. They've got a 140-degree wide beam angle. They're 5700K, so it should be like a super white light. They do have that IP67 waterproof rating, and they use high intensity OSRAM LEDs. They put out remarkable light with more lumens. I don't actually see a lumens rating on here. I know like the light heads, they like to say, oh man, oh here it is, 8400 lumens, raw. I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but the light heads, they'll know. But yeah, man, pretty sweet. Well guys, I'd love to open all these packages with you, but that would take forever, and it's actually getting pretty late. So we're gonna do that in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, that helps me out tremendously. And also consider subscribing for more content like this. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever I post a new video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.